that was actually the first time we kissed. That was also
No.
pretty soon, but I thought like, oh, also have to rush because I will be away for 5 weeks and I don't know what will happen. So, and it was raining a lot.
It
I
was pretty
felt
magical.
like in a movie, and we were kissing in the rain before
No,
I
that's so
had to go to Germany.
romantic.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't the plan, but Tlaloc, our god of water, intervened that day, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you this, you too." It was good.
Welcome to International Love Story, the podcast about intercultural relationships. My name is Christina, and in today's podcast episode, I am going to welcome Emmy and Tanja. I know at least Tanja since a couple of months already. I was just checking, I think since approximately 1.5 years, maybe even longer. And I know her journey. I know part of her love story. I know how she met Emmy. And I'm just curious to learn much, much, much more about Tanya's story, but also about their love story, to get to know Emmy as well, the reason why she's in Mexico, one of the reasons why she's in Mexico right now. So with this being said, Tanya is from Germany, Emmy is from Mexico, and they're both living in Mexico right now. Let's give a warm welcome to Tanya and Emmy. Thank you so, so much for being here today. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing? Tell us all about you.
Thank you so much for the introduction and for having us here today. My name is Tanja. I'm from Germany. I turned 30 years this year. Pretty exciting. And 1.5 years ago, I decided to leave everything behind and go to Mexico because actually I figured that Mexico is the love of my life. In 2022, I went to a sea turtle project at the Pacific coast of Oaxaca. And there I fell in love with the country. I was always interested in the culture of Mexico, in learning Spanish and in exploring this magical country. And when I really had the chance to do it a longer time, I realized, yeah, that's where my heart, my soul lives. And I don't want to go back to Germany. I feel like here's my place. So in March last year, yeah, I left everything behind, my ex-boyfriend, my job, my flat, my family, and moved alone to Mexico City, actually, without knowing what the future will bring. Yeah, and now I'm here in Mexico City.
Well, I'm Emiliano Coria. I'm 31 years old, and well, I'm a Mexican. That's basically it. I'm a Chilango. I am from Mexico City, CDMX, we call it. And yeah, I've been living here for my whole life. Currently, I'm teaching Spanish to foreigners. So I have a little school, little advertising, by the way. alebrijesSpanishLessons.com. And yeah, well, I met Tanya here. Can we say where we met?
Yeah, of course.
We met at,
It's not a crime.
in Bumble. So, but the funny thing is that, yeah, at the beginning, I thought she was a dude, a man.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, because it's not common that you are like chatting with someone, at least here in Mexico, and that's my experience, of course, with someone, and that person then after 5, 6 messages tells you, all right, let's head out, let's hang out, and let's go to eat, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I'm very efficient German. So I thought, why lose time? I want to meet him because it was very funny. Actually, I wanted to delete the application because I was very disappointed of my experiences with the application, so I wanted to delete it. And then I saw his profile, and he wrote me that he loves pozole,
Love
soup.
pozole.
Yeah, a Mexican soup. It's very delicious, and I also love the soup. So was our first topic. We connected, and I directly asked him, "Don't you want to try a very good Pozole, I know a place. Yeah, and he was afraid that I might kidnap him.
Yeah. So my
Because he
friend.
thought that you are a man.
Yeah, he
Because
thought
you didn't
that's a
have a
fake
profile
profile.
picture. Ah, so you had a profile picture, but he thought the way you are texting that has to be a man that wants to kidnap him.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen this probably in a movie. I don't know if that happens here, but I was suspicious. But in the end, it all turned well.
Yeah, that's why he also came late to our date, and I thought it's typical Mexico. He told me afterwards that actually he was looking out what's happening at the place where we wanted to meet.
To make sure that you're real and that you're not a fake. It was this year you met, right? Or was it last year?
Last year in July, 1 year ago.
Is it so long ago already?
Yeah, we already know each other for more than 1 year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So you had this first date, this first official date. You, Tanja, you had to wait a little bit longer for Emmy. Eventually he showed up. I wouldn't be in a good mood, honestly, because I hate when people are wasting my time because I'm too German. Still, even nowadays, even we're living here in Argentina since 1.5 years and I'm married to Argentinian. I just can't stand if people are too late. And I have to adjust to it, I know, but what were your thoughts while you were waiting for Emmy?
Actually, it was just 5 or 10 minutes. It was not that
Okay.
bad, but yeah, I was very nervous, but I also was looking forward to meet him because actually on his profile, he said he loves to write, and I also love writing. So I never met a guy before that loves writing. So I was very curious about getting to know him.
And how was the encounter? So he walked in and you guys connected immediately. Was it awkward? How did you
No,
feel?
I didn't feel awkward at any time. I felt like a pretty strong connection from the first day. We talked a lot. Afterwards, we went for a beer. And the funny thing of this encounter also was that 1 week later, I went back to Germany. So we met 1 week before me heading back to Germany because I'm in Mexico with the tourist visa. So you can stay 6 months and then you have to go back. And I planned to go back to Germany for 5 weeks to go back afterwards to Mexico. And so we met and directly I told him like, in 1 week I will be in Germany for 5 weeks. So in this whole week we met 3 times. Yeah, and it was an intense week, but all the time I felt pretty connected. How did you feel this?
Yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, okay, I like this girl. And I was like, okay, but, you told me, right? Right from the beginning that you were leaving for like 1 week. It was 3 days later,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, okay, I have to rush with something because if not, I'm gonna lose this girl. Yeah, we went the second time. It was when the one with the chocolate.
Oh, that
Chocolate.
was the third time.
That was the third
The
time,
second
right?
time we went to play games.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
board games.
Or other passion that connects us, playing board games. And then the third time we went for a hot chocolate. And that was actually the first time we kissed. That was also
No.
pretty soon, but I thought like I have to rush because I will be away for 5 weeks and I don't know what will happen. So, and it was raining a lot.
It was
I
pretty
felt
magical.
like in a movie and we were kissing in the rain before
So
I had to go to Germany.
romantic.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't the plan, but Tlaloc, our god of water, intervened that day, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna give you this, you too." It was good.
Yeah,
And
and
that
then I
was the
went.
official start. Sorry for interrupting, but that was the official start of you dating, or what happened?
I don't know how will you define it.
Yeah, that's difficult to say a date where it started. I don't feel like there was one day where it started. And what I really loved about us getting to know each other, also from distance, was that you were texting every day and we were talking about our days and also due to the time difference. That was weird as well. You felt like for you it was a challenge with the time difference.
Yeah, because it's 8 hours from here, Mexico to Germany. The time where you used to wake up was like around 7, probably. But here in Mexico, it was like probably 3. No,
No, in the night.
that was in the night.
11 in the night.
Well, basically, I had like 1 or 2 hours from 10 to 12, and that was the whole thing because I had to sleep. But then that's like 7 hours, so 7 hours not knowing anything about her. And I was like, okay. So the moment I wake up, I had to text her and say, hey, I'm wake up. How are you doing? Or what are you doing? Or what's happening? And then after that, I had to work. I was also teaching back then. And but then I couldn't text her that fast enough. So I had to like manage my time between texting her and giving class at the same time. I don't recommend that. I don't suggest that. But it was like, okay, I'm texting her and that's it. And then after that, I had to probably at 2 p.m. in Mexico was like 10 p.m. also in Germany. So she had to go to sleep. And in the end, I had only like 3 hours, probably 6, but between 3 and 3 hours, I had to chat with her twice a day.
Had
Probably.
to.
Yeah, I had to, yeah. Yeah. Because I didn't want to miss the opportunity and this chance that they gave me. And that was quite a challenge for a month. I was actually more relieved when she came back because I was like, probably, and now I'm gonna finally gonna sleep. I don't have to schedule my whole day and the next and
I came back in September, and September in Mexico it's pretty big because it's the Independence Day, and so I got to know his family, and that's where I fell in love even more because they received me with so much love. We did karaoke, we were eating, and I enjoyed this time so much, and also Dia de los Muertos and in November. So that was a pretty nice time where we got to know each other. And in November, I also I did a pretty German move. I asked him if he wants to be my boyfriend because we were like dating for 4 months, and I thought maybe I could ask him now. Yeah, how did it feel? It was funny.
Well, she asked me first.
He wanted to ask me 2 weeks later.
Mm.
I just couldn't wait anymore to know what's going on.
Yeah, well, that's her. Yeah, and usually slower in everything. I like to be that way actually. And my plan was like, okay, I'm probably gonna ask her to be my girlfriend on December. Yep. Not that you rushed, but you took the lead. You took the lead. I was cool with it, and I was like, maybe she'll feel, I don't know, like I'm not wasting time, but maybe she could, I don't know, wonder about this. I was like, but I'll stick to my plan, and nope, that didn't happen. It's okay. I was also thinking about that just in November.
Our first big challenge is coming because 2 weeks afterwards, I got kicked out of my flat from one day to another. One of the big challenges here, my landlord just was crazy and he didn't want me in his apartment anymore. So he told me, you have 1 hour to leave. And Emiliano and my best friend Vanya, they came to help me because I really was afraid of going back to the apartment because he was threatening me and he was threatening my privacy. So I didn't want to go alone, and they helped me to move in 1 hour. I've never had done this before. That was crazy. That was a roller coaster of emotions, and I didn't know where to go because how can you find a new flat in one day? That's not possible. So I'm so thankful that Amy and his family, they received me. I felt so overwhelmed because we were together for 2 or 3 weeks and I was right moving in with him.
He did, and you recently met his family. I mean, they were very welcoming, but you were also still in the phase of really getting to know his family. And then right away they were like, okay, you're not gonna be homeless. Obviously, you can sleep at our place. So you moved in together quite
Yeah.
fast
Yeah, for
because you had
1
to.
month. Yeah, we had to. But it went pretty well. We didn't have any conflicts. But afterwards I found a flat where I'm still at now. And yeah, I'm happy here. But yeah, that was one of our challenges right away at the beginning of our relationship.
In your case, you definitely stepped in and no questions asked, supporting her in that weird situation. I remember, Tanya, you were telling us as well in the WhatsApp group we have. So for everyone who's listening and watching right now, you're more than welcome to join if you're a woman dating interculturally. And we were all shocked. We were like, what's going on? Because at that time you had so much to figure out. There were so many things on your plate. And then on top of this, your landlord just decided to kick you out from one day to the other in just 1 hour to threaten you. It was a very, in general, threatening situation. And to have someone who's showing up and who's just like, we'll help you, we'll pack your things, don't worry, we'll figure it out. You just crash at my family's place and we're gonna make that work. That's basically, to have this support network in a country that's not your home country. I mean, that's just so important. I'm so happy that you didn't go through all of this all by yourself, because I mean, I'm already overwhelmed if I'm German, sorry for this, but if I'm crossing the street and there's a crosswalk, so it's the cross stripe in German, and the cars wouldn't stop, or would, like, it happened to me a couple of times that I almost got knocked over by a bus because they're just driving recklessly here. And I'm
Yeah,
getting
that's the
that
same
in
in Mexico.
situations like this. Yeah, but it's just so German, and then you're just in another country and you still get used to so many new things. Obviously, I mean, you've mentioned it right in the beginning. You love Mexico. It feels like it's your home, but you still adjust to so many circumstances. And then you have such a crazy person that's affecting your life in such a big way by just deciding to kick you out just like that. And you have to figure it out. And just imagine, I mean, being alone in a situation like that, that's just horrible. So I'm very happy for you that you had your support network at that time already. Again, Emmy, that you showed up for her and accommodated her. Because that's a lot to take in, and that's also proof that you guys are very serious and that you do take care of one another.
Yeah, and that's also a reason why I do love Mexico, but I feel like the people here are helping in every situation. And without my friend's support and without Amy's support, I think I would have left, because as you know, Christina, I also had other challenges before and afterwards of this. So that wasn't the first challenge I had to face here in Mexico. Yeah, what I realized is that moving abroad is not just packing your suitcase and boarding a plane. It's so much more. If you would know in the beginning, you would never leave your country probably. So without the support, I think I wouldn't have made it at the end.
You were staying at his family home, Tanya. How was the 1 month with his family living together with him?
I was very nervous because earlier in March, when I came to Mexico, I had like a similar situation where I lived with a guy and his family, and it went pretty bad. That was one of my first challenges. They treated me very bad and also kicked me out. So that was my second time of this experience. I was so afraid at the first place to make mistakes, like also cultural differences, that especially his mom wouldn't like me at all, or that it would crush our relationship or anything. But I felt so at home and so welcomed that I really enjoyed this month. I really enjoyed it. And we also spent Christmas together. It was really hard for me because it was my first Christmas apart from my family in a whole different country that has totally different tradition. And I was crying a lot, I remember. I was crying a lot, but I also was enjoying it, and I felt very welcome. And I feel like this experience, yeah, got us together even more. How do you felt it?
I will try to support her in the best way I could possibly have. I like to cook a lot, so I try to cook for her a lot. Well, that's something that I usually do. But in December, yeah, I realized that she was like having different. She was having a different. She was having a different experience from me because, well, she's from Germany. First Christmas without your family. I never had another a Christmas without my family. I have always been here, and also something funny happened because I don't know if they make the same thing in Argentina, but in Mexico we have an unofficial you say holiday, which is the Guadalupe Reyes. The Guadalupe Reyes is a period of 3 and maybe 3 days, 3 weeks and maybe 3 days, and it starts from December 12th, and which we call Dia de la Virgen, is the day of is it the Maria's Day? Holy Maria's Day?
Of the Virgin, yeah.
And it ends with January 6th, which is our Dia de Reyes, and basically Santa Claus for Mexicans. Hopefully, no no kids listening to this.
Exist.
They exist. They but well, in that period, we have lots of parties. You cannot imagine. Everyone has a party here, and they invite you to lots of parties. And with parties, well, comes a lot of food, and of course, it comes comes with alcohol. Lots of alcohol, tons of alcohol. And at one point, she was like, "Hey, you're not a drunker, are you?" And I was like, "Too much." And I was like, "No, it's the holidays, just the holidays. Not like this. I mean, I do drink, but not like, oh, okay, I need it. Not just like, well, I enjoy it, but not at that time. I realized like, yeah, she was like having troubles.
Was our first conflict,
And that
right?
was our first conflict. Yeah, we had kind of like a fight, or like you had a fight with me. I was
You're not the kind of fighter.
not the kind of fighter, and also I was very drunk, so that wasn't a fair fight at the beginning. So yeah, we had a very first fight. Yeah, we solved it in the end, and yeah, that was it. That was it. But for her, it was kind of crazy, and then I realized about that, and I was like, okay, maybe I should explain things to her because she told me that she was here from a long time and she was had been visiting Mexico for years, and I thought, okay, so she knows about this, but apparently
Christmas, yeah.
not in Christmas, yeah, and it's not actually something so famous out there. Our most famous traditions are the Day of the Dead, Dia de Muertos, yeah, kind of Christmas and September. You know, a Mexican probably they'll tell you that, but yeah, no, that was quite different. But yeah, in the end, it turned out well.
So you managed your first conflict and
Yeah, pretty well.
talked it out. So Tanja was more confrontal, and Emmy just told her or told you, Tanja, basically like, hey, that's just normal, just a few days, and then I go back to just casual or occasional drinking here and there.
Yeah.
But I understand that it can be a little bit overwhelming as well. So after all, you have to get used to it, obviously. But if you're not used to it because you've never experienced it, it's definitely something else, a different experience you weren't prepared for.